Hi, I'm Allie Stapleton, nutrition coach, bringing you to my front porch for the holidays. In this weekly series, I'm going to be sharing nutrition and mindset strategies to help guide you through the holiday season, which can be an exciting and joyful time, and also maybe one that feels a little bit stressful or overwhelming or chaotic. Before we jump into all things holidays, I want us to zoom out just a bit. Because success during the holidays or any other season starts with understanding and identifying your baseline. So that's what this chat is going to be all about. In this holiday series, my hope is to keep these videos between about 5 and 7 minutes. They're going to be part education and part action so that you can learn a little bit of something and have something to take with you throughout that week or month or this season of life. So, starting with our baseline. A baseline is your comfortable place. It is a rhythm that feels realistic and reasonable and repeatable when life is feeling pretty normal. Our baseline is something that we can find across multiple areas of life. So I want you to think about your life as having 4 pillars. Those 4 different pillars are nutrition, movement, mindset, and lifestyle. When we think about those 4 different pillars, we can understand them as what they are. So nutrition would be meals and nutrition habits that feel balanced and energizing. Most of the time they feel really satisfying, and they can answer questions like, am I fueling consistently? Am I eating enough of the things that make me feel good, specifically protein and fiber? Do my meals support the energy that I'm giving to my life? When we think about movement, this is the regular movement that supports our goals and our lifestyle. So it is structured movement and unstructured. When we think about movement, it answers questions like, how do I move in ways that feel good to me? And how often do I find this usually happening? The pillar that we can define as mindset is the way that we talk to and think about ourselves. It is the awareness and the mindfulness we have around our habits and routines, and it's grounded in how we can make progress. When we think about mindset, we might ask ourselves, how do I talk to myself when things are going well and when they aren't going well? Am I celebrating myself? Am I giving myself credit for those small wins? And finally, the 4th pillar is our lifestyle. So these are habits that are outside of our nutrition and movement. Things that support our well-being in general, like our sleep and our stress management, the relationships we have with others, and our routines. And some questions that we might ask ourselves around our lifestyle is, how do my daily rhythms and routines help or hinder how I want to be feeling? Where might I be overextended? Where might I be feeling really steady? So you might have some things buzzing around in your head about where your baselines fall in each of these pillars. And a baseline doesn't have to be one pinpoint thing. It can be a range of activities or feelings or behaviors that help support you across these 4 categories. But again, these are things that feel repeatable and realistic over time. These 4 pillars are connected, and we might notice that when one of them is feeling a little bit misaligned, we might feel off. We might feel unsteady or unbalanced. All right, after we've identified our baselines, this is where the activity is going to come in. This is where we're going to find our bare minimums as well. And before you pause this video or say, I'm going to come back and watch it later, give it 2 to 3 more minutes. I want you to jot down a couple of things that can help you today and throughout this season. All right, so I want you to take out your phone and open up your notes app, or if you've got a piece of paper or a Post-it handy, take that out. If you've got your blank notes app, you're going to give it the headline of my baselines. And if you've got a piece of paper, I want you to just divide it into 4 sections. From here, you're going to label those sections. Give it those 4 pillars: nutrition, movement, mindset, and lifestyle. And then in each of those sections, you are going to give yourself a place to write your baseline and your bare minimum. Now, there can be one of each in each of those 4 pillars. You could have multiple things in each of these categories. I'm not going to do all the work for you, but I'll give you a couple of examples. So for me, movement in an unstructured daily way would be walking my dog. Now, the baseline for this is walking her around the neighborhood 2 to 3 times a day. This loop is a mile or so long, maybe a little bit more. I know that it gets my dog her exercise, and it gets me outside, it gets me in the sunshine, it gets me my steps, and it makes me feel my best. But it's not always realistic. Sometimes work is really busy, sometimes life is really busy, and those full neighborhood walks aren't possible. So I know that my bare minimum for dog walking is around the block. I know that it gets my dog outside, it gets me a little bit of fresh air and sunshine, and most importantly for a dog walk, it passes by a neighborhood trash can. For example, for a lifestyle example, we could talk about sleep. For a baseline, I would consider sleep to be about 8 hours a night. Now, I happen to have a 6-month-old daughter, so this baseline is not always met. But I consider my bare minimum to be that I can complete my evening bedtime routine, and that I know that even when things are chaotic or busy or stressful is going to make me feel at least okay. So my bare minimum is I go upstairs, I plug my phone into its charger on my nightstand, I go into the bathroom, wash my face, brush my teeth, do my skincare, put my PJs on, and then go back to the bedroom and hop into bed. Your bare minimum doesn't have to be nothing. It is meant to be a safety net to catch you when your ideal isn't possible. So I want you to take this piece of paper that you've written on, or take this note and keep it in a place that you can reference to, maybe today, maybe next week, maybe as the next couple of months progress and you're feeling like life is catching up to you and you need those pillars to stay strong and steady to support you. Next week, we're going to be diving into some strategies around awareness. I can't wait to see you then.